Hey friends, welcome to one of our weekly Rev Ups. Let me ask you something. Let's say that you're trying to make a big decision for your life, okay? A move, a career, a family, a relationship issue, something like that, something big. And as you're trying to decide on what to do, all of a sudden, you get this tension. Like something about this decision just doesn't sit quite right with you, okay? What do you do in a situation like that? How do you deal with that tension? You see, one of the realities that you and I face as humans is this, that tension gets our attention. In other words, it creates a red flag moment to alert us of something that you and I should probably be paying attention to. Okay? Think about how this works for a moment. Physiologically, our bodies create tension in order to get our attention. For example, if you don't stay hydrated throughout the day, what's going to happen? You're going to get a headache, right? In other words, your body's going to create tension here in order to get your attention to try and alert you that you need to drink water. Or how about this? You ever not eaten for a couple hours and all of a sudden your stomach starts to what? It starts to grumble. It starts to create a tension because it's trying to alert you that you need to eat something. Or how about what you're doing right now? You're staring at the screen. What happens when you stare at a screen for a long period of time? You start to feel this tension around your eyes as though to alert you that it's time to stop staring at the screen. Or how about this? You ever walked around Disney World for a long period of time? You remember how you felt about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Your feet were just killing you. They were creating a tension to get your attention and find a bench somewhere and sit down. Or let's say you're staying at a staff meeting. You're sitting there for 2 hours, 3 hours, and all of a sudden you feel this tension, right? Your bladder is full, but you don't want to get up in the middle of the meeting because you don't want to be rude. But so you're just trying to shift in your seat there, trying not to think about waterfalls and gushing water. Why? Because your body is creating tension and telling you that you need to go to the restroom. Now, here's the crazy thing about all those examples. Your body is going to keep creating tension until you address the issue. In other words, if you want to find relief from that tension, then you have to make a decision that ultimately is going to address that tension. You see, we are in the midst of a message series that we have been calling Decisions, and each week we've been asking a different question that you and I can ask ourselves when we're making decisions, all in the hopes that we can ultimately make better decisions. And the question today is this: is there a tension that deserves my attention? Okay, in other words, when my brain alerts me that something is not quite right, how should I respond to that tension? You know, I love what King Solomon says in Proverbs 22:3. He says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple or the naive, they keep going and pay the penalty." In other words, those people that actually pause and slow down and evaluate the situation tend to end up making better decisions and ultimately staying out of trouble. You see, when you find yourself in the midst of making a decision, whether it's a big decision or even a small decision, and a tension gets your attention, one of the best things that you can do is pause. In other words, if something about that decision is bothering you, let it bother you. In fact, let it bother you until you understand why it bothers you, because that pause is oftentimes the difference between a good decision and a not so good decision. So, whenever you find yourself in the midst of a decision, ask yourself, is there a tension that deserves my attention? And if there is a tension, don't ignore it, don't run past it. Instead, pause and think and discern and pray. Ask God for guidance and live within that tension until you have clarity as to what decision you need to make. Hey, as always, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.